Welcome to another edition of Makamba Live. My guest today is no stranger to the word beauty, and not only is she beautiful externally, there is a great wealth of beauty that shines from within. I'm talking about Tendai Hunda, former Miss Zimbabwe, former Miss Intercontinental Africa, and a model, a graduate of social science, and a budding entrepreneur. Welcome, Tendai.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good. So tell me, what led you to enter the world of beauty pageants and modeling, and tell us about the journey so far?
Well, initially, I never had a passion about modeling and beauty and all that comes with it. I was more of an academic student until I met a woman who scouted me way back in 2009 at Goromonzi High School, who was the chaperone, and I took part in Miss Goromonzi. That's when the journey began, because everybody kept on saying you're destined for it, you look like it and stuff. That's when my modeling journey began.
So what year is that?
2009.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on to take on pageantry after I finished my A-level at Goromonzi High School. I took part in Miss Carnival, which went on quite well because I was the 4th runner-up, but I wasn't satisfied. And then I took on Miss Zimbabwe, one of the biggest titles in our country. To my surprise, apparently, I'd like to think that modeling is a calling for me. More than anything else, it's more of a calling. And then I made Miss Zimbabwe 2014 to 2015. I took on the world stage at Miss World in London. One of the biggest experiences I've ever had in the modeling industry. And I made top 20 for the top model of the world competition. And that was huge. That's when I got scouted to take part in another international pageant called Miss Intercontinental, which was held in Germany. And I was the 4th runner-up overall out of 93 countries. And I was crowned the Continental Queen for Africa. So the title is Miss Intercontinental Africa. So yeah, my journey has been really big and great, and I've never had any hiccups. I've never had any failures. It's always been success after success.
Amazing. As we take a break, we'll look at some of Tendai's work there on video clippings, photos and so on. We'll be back. Welcome back to Makamba Live. We are talking to Tendai Bongani Hunda. Now, Tendai, you have traveled the world as a pageant competitor. What do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about beauty pageants and the women that take part in them?
Well, overall, when I began the modeling, and when I joined the modeling industry, everybody attached it to a lot of, loose morals, and most of the models are labeled as they're not literate, they're dumb heads and stuff like that. But then that's a really big misconception, because when I went to Miss World, most of the participants actually are graduates, doctors, lawyers, big people with big names. So I think that the misconception really needs to be driven away now more than ever, because the modeling industry is that big. It's a very, very lucrative industry, and it's changed a lot of lives across globally and stuff. So I think the whole loose morals has got nothing to do with being a model. That just comes with the person being a person. If you're a loose moral person, you're just a loose moral person. It's got nothing attached to being in the modeling industry.
You're watching Makamba Live. We'll be back. Welcome back to Makamba Live. Tendai is a model and a modern young woman. How would you define beauty? And do you think, as an African woman, you are pressured to conform to a certain ideal standard, a certain ideal or standard of beauty?
Well, internationally, there is a standard of beauty that doesn't exactly tally with what we have in Africa. The common African woman is well built, with a bit of curves here and there and stuff. And then internationally, we are forced into being a petite kind of woman, which we are not by nature. So I think, when we're going for these international pages, I think they need to take into consideration the fact that by nature, we are not born to be size 0s and size 6s and all those petite looking models. So I think it puts a lot of pressure on, the African woman to trim down, diet a little extra, and try and move from being, the usual person that you could be any other day. So maybe somebody needs to come up there and introduce a new kind of beauty, the African kind of beauty, that it doesn't matter how you look internationally, you could actually go there standing just as you are.
It's very interesting that you say that, because two leading modeling homes houses rather, have done away with their size, with models who are size, which is the smallest? Is it 6 or 8?
6.
Size 6. They say that a lot of girls go on to dieting and end up getting, what is the disease called?
Anorexia.
Anorexia. There's something with a B. Bulimia. Exactly. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with a little curve here, a little curve there, and it's all in the name of African beauty. We're talking to Tendai Hunda. We'll be back. Tendai, are you enjoying the show?
Of course I am. Interesting.
Tendai, you're now a fashion and beauty entrepreneur. Tell me more about what inspired you to go into business and about the vision you have for your brand. What is your brand name?
TH Fashion House.
TH Fashion House. Okay, give us the vision.
Well, initially when I went to Miss World, during the makeup session, I had white people do my makeup, which was really ashy. And you know, when the overall pictures came up and social media busting that the makeup was not suitable for my skin color, that's when I came back home and I said, somebody needs to stand up for the dark skin color. You know, so when I came back home, after I graduated and everything, I wanted to start up something that, you know, could address that particular gap in the modeling industry. So that's when I decided to start up what I call TH Fashion House. Those are my name initials, so it's Tendai Hunda Fashion House. And it's under construction. It's going to be a one-stop fashion house. I'm a designer as well. So I'm going to have my designs by Tendai Hunda, which are called TH Designs. I'm into makeup as well, but I'm not hands-on as much. So I would like to create employment and have makeup artists that, you know, have a feel of the dark-skinned girl to come up on board, and then maybe one day we could go and, you know, do makeup at Miss World for the dark-skinned girls. And then also I'm going to have a modeling agency. I feel like in Africa we start modeling when we're grown up and we're trying to understand these things, while we could actually start from grassroots level. Primary school, I'm going to go there, pick up talent, because you need to understand that not every child is academically gifted. So if you understand the modeling industry, the fashion industry, that's what I'm going to go out and do from grassroots. So that's what inspired my brand and my business, TH Fashion House.
Did you design and make that dress you're wearing?
I would be lying. I would be lying. No,
okay.
I didn't.
So do you promise once your fashion house is fully fledged and going, you'll come back with a couple of shirts for me?
Of course I will.
Oh.
Of course I will.
I have witnesses. We're talking to Tendai. We'll be right back. You're watching Makamba Life, and today we're talking to, I almost say the glamorous. You're going to beat me for that. You're glamorous, you're beautiful, you're talented, you're educated. How many? 5 in one, all rolled in one. And very soon she's going to have her own fashion house with loads of brands, you know, to come from that. Tendai, who would you say, or what would you say is your biggest source of inspiration?
Well, I'll take this a bit more home and personal. I've got a grandfather of mine who raised me. He was the first chancellor in Zimbabwe. His name was David Tapira Hunda. He was a national hero. He was hands-on. He was a politician. I studied politics, by the way. So that's where that came from my grandfather. You know, as I was growing up, he was always, you know, looking for ideas, looking for new things, trying to put food on the table for everybody, especially for me. So I was his heart's desire. And so from him, I just drew from him that I need to grow up and make a legacy, go to the Heroes Acre eventually like him.
Wow. And we always want to learn, we always want our viewers to learn from our appearing guests what you have learned about life so far. What would you say you have learned about life so far?
I think that everybody's given 24 hours in a day. What you do with it in life is what matters. No one is given extra seconds, so what you do with it is what matters in life. The problem is we're always comparing ourselves and competing, but then in actual fact, the greatest competitor you have is yourself. You need to always, you know, set the mark. What do I need to have done by 12 midday? What do I need to have done before I go to bed? What do I need to have done before the end of the year? That's all that matters. Everybody else around you is probably watching you and learning from you while you're busy competing.
I will now let Tendai look into the camera and say a few words, parting words to the viewers. It's been great being with you on Makamba Live. We see you on the next episode. It's now next to Tendai.
Thank you very much. It's been great being on this amazing show. And I'm just saying that this is the beginning of a very, very big journey. You'll see me here next time looking bigger and better. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for watching Makamba Live.